the real question is like, say they're sold on it, say they want to start it. What does success look like once they actually start running on Google Ads? What does success on Google Ads look like for small
Boy,
businesses?
I mean this. So I'm just gonna hit multiple success stories,
Wow.
and because I don't think that there's any one success that somebody's going to achieve that's going to look the same for everyone. Okay, so success number one, they are able to finally control their brand and their brand keyword. Because before you had competitors showing up on their brand, and this is something that could happen a lot and non-intentionally as well for people that have the word roofing or plumber in their brand name.
Mhm.
Joe's Plumbing could show a lot of competitors, and they're like, people can't find me. My repeat customers can't find me. That would be a success point. Really easy, low level kind of success point. At least finally I can show up on my own name. Success point number two, finally they're getting the kind of traffic that they want to their site. Their website doesn't bring traffic, and for the first time, they're actually bringing traffic that's qualified. Good traffic to their site. Number three, a business is just trying to increase the volume or start a new company. A new company is trying to just get volume, period. And now they're suddenly getting phone calls and the phone's ringing. They're getting lead forms, they're getting quotes. The salesmen don't have to push as hard because they're supplementing their cold calls or whatever else they're doing with volume from Google Ads. I mean, all three of those are success stories, all very different, but all three are very typical small business success stories, in my opinion.
Yeah, and all of them work, and they're all the result of what we were talking about earlier. Not making it too complicated, just
Mm-hmm.
showing up for people that are searching for exactly what you offer. Because when you
Yep.
do that, you can have lots of different kinds of success, but it all stems from showing up on the right searches. What I wanted to say, Chris, is just that there's so many benefits to being able to run on Google Ads, and sometimes even if you don't have all the conversion tracking in place and you're not tracking all the return and stuff, just getting the data, seeing the way customers are searching for your industry and your services and products, that can help out a ton. Just seeing that search term data. um, and I kind of break it down into two phases. The first phase is just breaking even, because I think people are usually always getting more results from Google Ads than they realize, even if they have all the tracking in place. Because there's so many times when someone sees your remarketing ad, doesn't click at that moment, doesn't go to your website at that moment, but then
Yeah.
thinks to call you a few days later. Or there's so many times where people see your search ad, maybe didn't click, or maybe they clicked to the website, didn't take any action, and at some point later on, they contacted you, and with the tracking it captures almost all of that, but there always seems to be something else, uh, a little bit more that you're getting, that's outside the tracking, including like word of mouth referrals that you get from your Google Ads traffic. So if you can just break even in the reporting, I think that's a good phase one.
And just to add, just to give a practical example of that, I can't tell you the number of times I do searches on a Sunday or a Saturday and then just write down that phone number that I'm going to call and then call on Monday. You know,
Yeah.
that happens all the time for me. And I know I see it in Google Ads. I see spikes on Monday. But how many times do people not fill out that form but just go ahead and call instead later at a different time? I mean, happens all the time. I think you're exactly right.
And maybe those businesses to a T all have website conversion tracking in place, and when you call the number that you wrote down, it's actually the forwarding number, and they get credit. Google Ads gets credit for the call,
Mm-hmm.
or many of them don't,
Don't. Yeah.
and they don't see that in the conversion tracking, but it's actual real business. So you can feel that pick up in your business, and you just want to get to some kind of level of break even, because you're probably doing better than that. That's my phase one. And then
Yeah.
phase two, second level of success, you're tracking every lead. You know what each lead is worth to you, and you're getting a return on ad spend that's better than break even, and you're printing money at that point with Google
Mm.
Ads. That's the second level. And then where you always want to be, and this is where Chris and I are when we manage campaigns and where we want our clients to be, we want people to feel in control of their Google Ads advertising campaigns, to know exactly what they're getting for their ad spend, and then the third thing is just to feel comfortable. Just feel comfortable with what you're doing on Google Ads and the money that you're spending every month, because you will see it. It's going to hit your credit card a couple times a month or more if you're spending more. And we just want you to feel comfortable. And I think for a lot of advertisers, they maybe not have felt comfortable with different forms of advertising in the past, where things felt opaque and they didn't know where the leads were coming from or what kind of leads they were getting, or they didn't know what quote unquote engagement was, but when you're running Google Ads right, you should feel comfortable and know exactly what you're getting. So Chris, I mean, you and I have had clients with us at this point now for like many years, and we've seen what they've spent on Google Ads.
Yeah.
In some cases, it's a lot of money that's gone out the door, but they know what's come in the door. And can you just kind of speak to what you've seen with clients where they feel that level of comfort, like they know what they're getting? Have you seen that with clients over the long term?
Yeah. I mean, I can't count how many clients I have that are spending really a kind of an embarrassingly small amount on Google Ads, for such a premium Google Ads manager such as I. You would think I'd be managing these gloriously large campaigns, but I work with a lot of really small companies and they spend really small amounts. And Jason, there's nothing that shows trust where they figure out like, this works, $400, $500 works. I can spend that every month. And, I don't need to go in and say, oh, we didn't get what I wanted this week. I didn't get 50 leads, or I didn't get 4 leads. It might go up and down, but the long term, been with me 5, 6, 7, 8 years at this point, we're spending that little bit amount, and the trust that they have on the quality and that the system works. They get reports, things go up and down, but they know if they stick with it, it'll happen. And it does happen.
Yeah, things do go up and down because of variance and because just sample sizes. So if you're a small business advertiser, if you're spending $500 a month, if your cost per click is $10, if you're getting 50 clicks a month, you can go a month or two with what seem like lower than normal results in terms of how many leads you're getting or sales you're getting. And then all of a sudden you might have a really great month that kind of makes up for that, and the data will smooth out over time. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But once you've seen that success with Google Ads and you know why you're getting that success, the right searches you're showing up on, paying the right amount, being in full control, that gives you the confidence to kind of understand like, okay, yeah, we had a bad week, or we had a great week, but this is kind of an outlier performance, and you kind of get a feel for what your average results can be. And the word average sounds bad there, but average actually means like printing 4 or 5 times the amount of money you spend on Google, bringing that back in or more, and making a big profit. So that level of comfort is actually a place that you can get to. So